Okay, students, again I am here with the next page explanation of the great lesson 10, the great stone face part 2. Okay, till that evening light I have taught you. All of you open your book also and keep your finger where I am reading. You concentrate on those words and lines where which I am explaining. Okay, so so yesterday I have explained you that the he when he grown old, then he became more wiser. He became wiser and more intelligent, and many people from far and wide, they come to talk to him. They come to converse with him. They come to discuss with him. They come to argue with him. Now, and when he was talking to them, there was a shine of evening light on his face. ना जब वो उनसे बातें करते थे तो उनके फेस में क्या आ जाता था, शाइनिंग आ जाती थी. इवनिंग लाइट की जो शाइनिंग क्या शो करती थी, जैसे शाम के समय जो लाइट हो जाती, दैट वाज लाइक दैट, shine was like that. Now come to the second stanza. While Ernest had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. When Ernest was growing old, God has granted means given, and blessed a new poet to this earth. He has given a new poet to earth. He too was a native of the valley, and that poet was also native. Native means dweller, means निवासी, वहाँ का निवासी था उस वैली का, where Ernest was living, but had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities. But lots of his part of life, but अपनी लाइफ का ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हिस्सा उन्होंने कहाँ पे स्पेंड किया था, डिस्टेंट सिटीज़, दूर दूर की जो सिटीज़ है वहाँ स्पेंड किया था. pouring out his sweet music everywhere, and he is pouring out his sweet music everywhere. Pouring out means he was a poet, so he is writing sweet poets, and he is giving it to public, and public are getting lots of pleasure, lots of enjoyment in his poem. Means वो जो पोएम लिखते थे, उस पोएम को जब लोग पढ़ते थे तो बहुत इंजॉय करते थे, बहुत उन्हें नॉलेज मिलती थी, बहुत स्वीट पोएम्स वो लिखते थे. दिस इज वाई द राइटर इज सेइंग pouring out his sweet music everywhere. Neither was the great stone face forgotten, for the poet had celebrated it in a poem. Neither was the great stone face forgotten for the poet. Now, he was living, although he was living in a far cities means distant cities, means दूर, किसी दूर शहर में रहते थे, but he had not forgotten great stone face. How you come to know? Because he had celebrated it in a poem, means worshipped it, means he had celebrated the great stone face, means worshipped the great stone face, and he has depicted the great stone face in his poem also, and that shows that he had not forgotten a great stone face. Okay, the song of this poet found their way to Ernest. And song of the poet क्या कह रहा है, and the songs of the poet, जो उनके songs थे, जो उनकी poems थी, उसने found their ways to Ernest. That poems found Ernest also. Found Ernest also means he read them after his customary toil. Means Ernest also liked to read those poems after his customary toils, means after his usual work, after his daily hard work. He also liked to read the poem of that poet, and this is why the author is saying that songs of the poet found their way to Ernest, means it also reached to the Ernest. Okay, he read them after his customary toil, seated on the bench before his cottage door. Seated on the bench before his cottage door, sitting on a bench before his cottage door. He also liked to read the poem of that poet. As he read, he lifted his eyes to the mountain, and when he was reading the poem, he lifted his eyes to the mountain. When he was reading the poem, he also watches the great stone face. जब वो poem पढ़ते हैं तो वो great stone face को भी देखते हैं. Why? Oh great stone face, he said, is not this man worthy to be your likeness? Now he is asking a question to great stone face. Oh great stone face, is not this man worthy to be your likeness? No? Is not that man is a proper person who has the likeness of yours? Means क्या ये वो person नहीं है, क्या ये वो worthy person नहीं है, वो appropriate person नहीं है जिनके अंदर तुम्हारी likeness है? Means ये भी हो सकते हैं. Was means he can be. The face seemed to smile but did not answer. The face means the stone face smiled but did not answer. Now it happened that the poet, though he lived so far away, now it happened that the poet, one day one thing happened to the poem. क्या हुआ उन्हें? Though he lived so far away, although he was living so far away, although he was living in a distant place, वो एक distant place में रह रहे हैं, वो एक distant place में रह रहे हैं, had not only heard of Ernest but had thought much about his character. He not only heard about Ernest, he was living in a distant place, but he had also heard about the Ernest and thought much about his character and wished to meet his man, this man whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble. Na? He heard lots of things about the Ernest and he imagined about his character. मीन्स उनके बारे में बहुत सुना था सोनों ने, तो उस पोएट ने उनके कैरेक्टर के बारे में बहुत कुछ इमेजिन कर लिया था. मीन्स अपने मन में उनका एक फिगर फॉर्मेट कर लिया था. ही हैड मेड अ फिगर एंड विश टू मीट दिस मैन whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. जिनका विस्डम था, जो बहुत ही इंटेलिजेंट थे और जिनके इंटेलिजेंसी की बातें बहुत दूर दूर तक वैली में और वैली से बाहर फैली हुई थी ना. मीन्स he was very famous not only his valley but far away